All right, buckle up, everybody. We're diving deep into Kansas City real estate today. We're going to uncover the secrets of Alpine property management and how they're helping investors like you make serious bank, even when everyone else is
Yeah.
bracing for the off season. Those months when everyone thinks rentals are a total no-go.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, Alpine, they've kind of cracked the code.
What's really remarkable about Alpine is they're not your run-of-the-mill property managers. They offer this full-service experience. They guide investors through every single stage, from buying to selling to really just maximizing that rental income.
Okay, so we're not just talking about collecting rent checks here. It's more like a total partnership. So can you break it down for us? What does that partnership actually look like for someone who's investing?
So picture this. You find this really promising property in Kansas City. Alpine's right there with you, helping you navigate the whole purchase process. Then they seamlessly transition into managing that property, finding tenants, handling all the maintenance stuff, and even getting it ready for resale when you're ready to move on. It's like this one-stop shop. It streamlines the whole investment journey.
Wow, that sounds incredibly efficient. No more juggling a million different people and trying to keep everything straight. But let's get to the good stuff. I keep hearing about Alpine's secret weapon, their ability to keep those rental properties full even during the off-season. So what's the magic formula?
They've got this playbook full of smart strategies, and they go way beyond the basics. One tactic they use is flexible lease terms. They're not afraid to offer, shorter leases, or adjust the start and end dates to attract those off-season renters, people who might just need a place for a few months. Think traveling professionals or students, or anyone who's kind of in transition.
That's really interesting. So instead of fighting against the seasonal trends, they're actually working with them by catering to a specific part of the market. But wouldn't that create more work for them in the long run, with properties constantly turning over?
That's where their data-driven approach comes in. They're not just winging it. They analyze all the market trends, and they use all this historical data to predict those demand shifts. It lets them really fine-tune those lease terms and minimize those empty periods. So basically, they're using data to their advantage, turning those potential problems into, opportunities.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So they're not just filling any vacancy, they're strategically matching properties with the right people at the right time. But what about those properties that just aren't that appealing during certain seasons? Like, let's say a house with an amazing pool in the middle of a Kansas City winter.
Alpine gets that. Highlighting those seasonal perks is super important. So instead of just listing features, they showcase what makes a property shine during a specific season. Yeah, that pool might not be a big draw in January, but a cozy fireplace and a heated garage, now that's a winter haven. They're masters at framing the narrative to attract the right people at the right time.
Sounds like marketing geniuses to me. And they're probably charging a premium for that, right?
Not necessarily. They're actually very strategic about their pricing. They use all this detailed market analysis to make sure properties are priced competitively, but still making the most money for the owner. It could involve some slight rent reductions, or even offering short-term incentives during those slower months. It's a balancing act, but they've got it down pat.
And this is where their knowledge of the local market really comes in handy. It's one thing to manage properties, but it's another to truly understand those little nuances of tenant demand and pricing. It's a big advantage for investors who might not be super plugged into the Kansas City market.
Absolutely. And it's not just about setting that initial price. They're constantly keeping an eye on the market and making adjustments as needed. They know pricing's not set in stone. It takes a proactive approach.
So they're not afraid to get a little creative with the pricing.
Exactly. It's not about sticking to a rigid number. It's about finding that sweet spot. That attracts tenants and keeps the owner happy.
This sweet spot idea seems to be a recurring thing with Alpine. They're always finding that perfect balance between keeping tenants happy and making sure investors get their returns. It's not one or the other. It's about making everyone a winner.
You're right. That win-win philosophy really seems to be at the heart of everything they do.
We've talked a lot about Alpine's marketing and pricing strategies, but what about the nuts and bolts of property management? Like, how do they handle things like maintenance and talking with tenants?
They're very proactive and transparent in those areas, too. For example, they believe in tackling potential maintenance issues before they turn into huge problems. It saves everyone headaches and money down the line, and it keeps tenants happy in the long run.
So they're not just sitting around waiting for things to fall apart before taking action?
Nope, not at all. Regular inspections, preventative maintenance, and quick responses to tenant requests are their priorities. They've even built a network of reliable contractors and service providers
Yeah.
who can handle any problem quickly and effectively.
Sounds like they're taking all the stress out of owning property. Investors can just relax knowing that Alpine's taking care of everything behind the scenes.
Exactly, that's the beauty of it. They handle all the day-to-day stuff, so investors can focus on the bigger picture, growing their portfolio and achieving their financial goals.
That's where this one-stop shop idea really comes full circle. They're not just managing properties. They're simplifying the whole investment experience.
And that peace of mind is priceless, especially for people who are new to real estate investing or those who just don't have the time or energy to manage properties themselves.
All right, so we've seen how Alpine is amazing at getting the most rental income, even during the off-season, and how they handle all the day-to-day tasks of property management really well. But what does all this mean for the investor's bottom line? What's the real Alpine advantage?
The Alpine advantage boils down to this. They're not just managing properties, they're maximizing returns.
Okay, break that down for us. How do they actually turn their strategies into higher profits for property owners?
Well, it starts with minimizing those empty periods by strategically going after those off-season renters and offering those flexible lease terms. They keep properties occupied all year round, which means a steady flow of rental income.
That's huge, especially in a market like Kansas City where those seasonal changes can really make a difference.
You got it. And they're also experts at getting the best possible rent. Their data-driven pricing strategies make sure that properties are priced competitively while still pulling in the highest rent possible.
It's like they're squeezing every last drop of profit out of those properties without scaring away potential tenants.
You nailed it. And don't forget about all the money they save with their proactive maintenance approach. By tackling those potential problems before they become big, expensive issues, they're saving their clients a ton of money on repairs in the long run.
So they're making more money while spending less. It's a win-win for any investor.
And beyond the financial benefits, there's also the peace of mind factor. Knowing your properties are in good hands, that every detail is being taken care of with expertise, that's invaluable.
It really frees up investors to focus on other things in their lives or their businesses. They can enjoy that passive income without all the stress and headaches that usually come with owning property.
Exactly. And that's what sets Alpine apart. They're not just a property management company. They're your partner in success.
I'm starting to see why so many investors in Kansas City are raving about them. They've taken all the guesswork and stress out of real estate investing and turned it into this streamlined, profitable experience.
They've really figured out how to succeed in this market.
It's really inspiring to see how they've used their local expertise, data-driven strategies, and that client-first approach to create such a successful model. It makes you wonder, what's really possible when you've got the right people managing your real estate?
That's a fantastic question. It really highlights how important it is to find a partner who not only gets the market, but also understands your specific goals and priorities as an investor.
Speaking of unique goals, I heard that Alpine does more than just the usual property management stuff. They also have a program called We Buy Houses.
You're right. It's an alternative for investors who might want to sell a property quickly without going through the whole listing rigmarole. It can be really helpful for people who are dealing with a property that's become more trouble than it's worth, or people who need to sell an asset fast.
So it's like a safety net for investors who need a quick way out.
Exactly. It's another example of how Alpine goes the extra mile to meet the needs of investors in the Kansas City market.
It's fascinating to see how they've managed to cater to such a wide range of investor needs, from those looking for long-term rental management to those who need a faster solution.
It really shows their commitment to providing flexible and complete solutions for property owners in Kansas City.
Well, everyone, that's it for part one of our deep dive into Alpine property management. We've covered a lot of ground, from their unique one-stop shop approach to their expert strategies for getting the most out of rental income, even during the off-season.
We've also started to explore how they prioritize keeping tenants happy using data-driven insights and providing a wide range of services for real estate investors in Kansas City.
But we're not done yet. In part two, we'll dig even deeper into Alpine's innovative approach to property management.
We'll uncover more about their dedication to client communication, their proactive maintenance plans, and their overall philosophy of building lasting relationships.
So stay tuned for part two of our deep dive into Alpine property management. where we'll discover even more insights into their unique approach to success in the Kansas City real estate market.
Welcome back to our deep dive on Alpine property management. We're digging deeper into how they're kind of shaking things up for real estate investors in Kansas City.
In part one, we got a taste of their, comprehensive services, their knack for making the most of rental income, and their proactive way of handling property management. Now, I'm kind of curious about their communication style. Do they keep their clients in the loop, or is it more of a set it and forget it kind of deal?
Transparency and communication are like the foundation of their approach. They really believe that keeping clients informed makes them happy, and they go above and beyond to make sure those communication lines are always open.
So, no vanishing act after you sign up.
No way. They provide regular reports, give you market insights, and offer personalized advice based on each client's goals. It's not just about sending out generic updates, it's about having real conversations and explaining the reasoning behind every decision.
That's a welcome change from some property management companies out there, the ones that operate in the black box. This level of transparency must build a lot of trust with their clients.
Absolutely. Investors feel confident knowing that Alpine is actively managing their properties, and they're always just a phone call or email away.
And talking about proactive management, let's get into their maintenance strategies. We touched on it briefly in part one, but I'd love to hear more about how they keep those properties in top-notch condition.
They're big on preventative maintenance, taking care of potential problems before they spiral out of control. It's way more cost-effective than waiting for things to break, and it helps keep those tenants happy.
Makes total sense. It's like getting your car checked regularly instead of waiting for the engine to, explode.
Exactly. They have a super strict inspection schedule and a network of reliable contractors who can handle any repairs or maintenance quickly and efficiently.
So they're not skimping on quality with, shady handymen? Yeah.
Oh, no, not at all. They understand that top-notch work is key for keeping those properties valuable. They only work with licensed and insured professionals who meet their high standards.
That's good to know. Now, something else that caught my attention about Alpine is their data-driven approach. Can you tell us more about how they use data to make those smart decisions for their clients?
Data is at the heart of everything they do. They use a ton of market information, rental trends, and historical data to inform their pricing strategies, their marketing campaigns, and even property upgrades.
So they're not just going with their gut or outdated assumptions.
No way. They're constantly analyzing what's happening in the market and using data to make strategic decisions that benefit their clients' bottom line.
Can you give us a real-world example of how they put data into action?
Sure. Let's take their approach to setting rental rates. They don't just pick a number randomly. They analyze similar properties in the area, vacancy rates, and seasonal trends to figure out the best rental price. One that will attract tenants while maximizing returns for the owner.
So they're finding that sweet spot between what tenants are willing to pay and what makes the most money for the investor.
Exactly. They're using data to eliminate guesswork and make informed decisions that work for everyone.
It sounds like they're bringing a level of, sophistication to property management that's not very common.
They're definitely raising the bar, and their data-driven approach goes beyond just pricing. They use it for marketing, too, with targeted ad campaigns and analytics to reach the best potential tenants.
So they're not just throwing things out there and seeing what sticks.
Not a chance. They're using data to pinpoint their ideal audience and tailor their messages for the biggest impact.
It's incredible how they've incorporated data into every aspect of their business. It's like they've turned property management into a science.
You could say that. They're using data to optimize every single step, from tenant screening to lease renewals, making sure their clients always get the best possible results.
This data-driven approach fits perfectly with their commitment to transparency. They're not just telling clients they're doing a great job, they're showing them the data to prove it.
Exactly. They're giving their clients information so they understand exactly how their investments are doing.
We've talked a lot about Alpine's impressive systems and strategies, but what about the human side of things? How do they build those strong relationships with both clients and tenants?
They get that building strong relationships is key to success. They treat their clients like partners, giving them personalized attention, open communication, and a real commitment to their goals.
So it's not just a transactional relationship. It's about building trust and respect.
Absolutely. And they extend that same philosophy to their tenants. They prioritize tenant satisfaction, respond quickly to maintenance requests, and foster a sense of community within their properties.
That's crucial. Happy tenants are more likely to stay put, which means lower turnover costs and a steady stream of rental income.
You're right. They understand that creating a positive living experience benefits everyone.
It sounds as Alpine has found the winning formula, combining data-driven strategies with a strong focus on relationships. It's no wonder they're doing so well in the competitive Kansas City market.
They've definitely set a new standard for property management, and their client-centric approach is a great model for others to follow.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Alpine property management. We've uncovered their impressive services, data-driven strategies, and commitment to keeping those clients happy. But now let's shift gears a bit and explore what really makes Alpine tick, their company culture.
Well, from what I've seen, Alpine's culture is built on these core values. They guide how they interact with clients, tenants, and even each other.
And it seems like these values go beyond just being words on their website, right? They actually put them into practice.
Oh, absolutely. Transparency, integrity, a genuine commitment to going above and beyond. It's not just talk for them. They actively create a work environment where these values are lived out.
So they're walking the walk, not just talking the talk. How does that play out in their day-to-day operations?
Well, they give their employees the power to take ownership, make decisions, and really go the extra mile for their clients. It's all about creating a culture of accountability and excellence,
Yeah.
where everyone's invested in the company's success.
It sounds like they've built a team of people who are genuinely passionate about what they do, not just punching the clock.
Exactly. And you can really feel that shared sense of purpose in how they interact. They genuinely care about their clients and those properties. It's more than just a job, it's a mission.
I bet that kind of dedication rubs off on everyone. No wonder their clients can't stop singing their praises.
And that commitment to building strong relationships goes for their tenants, too.
We talked about their tenant-focused approach earlier, but how do they go above and beyond to make sure those tenants are happy?
Well, they understand that happy tenants are key to a successful rental property, so they focus on clear communication, quick maintenance, and being proactive about any concerns that come up.
So it's not just about collecting rent. It's about creating a positive, supportive environment, one where tenants feel valued and respected.
Exactly. And that approach is a big part of what makes Alpine different. It's not just about making the most money for the owner, it's about creating a win-win for everyone.
And that win-win philosophy seems to be woven into everything they do.
Absolutely. It's about fostering a sense of community and respect between owners, tenants, and the whole Alpine team.
This brings us to another really cool thing about Alpine's culture, their dedication to always improving. They're not just sitting back and coasting on their success.
Right? No way. They're always looking for ways to refine their processes, improve their services, and stay ahead of the game. It's about having that growth mindset and never settling for good enough.
So they're not afraid to shake things up and push the boundaries of what's possible in property management.
They get that the real estate world is always changing, and they're committed to staying ahead of the curve.
How do they encourage that culture of constant improvement?
They actively seek feedback from clients and employees. They use that feedback to drive innovation and progress.
It's about recognizing that everyone has something valuable to contribute, and that the best ideas often come from those who are closest to the action.
Exactly. And they're not afraid to try new things, experiment with different approaches, and adapt their strategies as the market changes.
That kind of flexibility and willingness to learn is so important in today's world.
It's what allows them to stay ahead of the game and consistently deliver great results for their clients.
It's truly inspiring to see a company so dedicated to their work and to getting amazing results for their clients.
Alpine's story shows the power of a strong company culture, a client-first approach, and a relentless pursuit of excellence.
It's a good reminder that success isn't just about the numbers. It's about building a business that has strong values, strong relationships, and a genuine desire to make a positive impact.
And that's a lesson we can all apply to our own endeavors, whether we're in real estate or any other field.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Alpine property management. We've explored their unique approach to property management, their creative strategies, and the values that guide their success.
We've seen how they've built a company culture that puts clients and tenants first, and how they're always looking for ways to improve.
And it's clear that their dedication to doing things the right way is paying off. They're thriving in a competitive market and making a real difference in the lives of their clients and tenants.
Alpine's story is an inspiration for anyone who wants to build a successful business, invest in real estate, or simply learn from a company that's doing things right.
It's a reminder that success is within reach when you combine passion, hard work, and a genuine desire to make a positive impact.
So if you're thinking about investing in Kansas City real estate, Alpine Property Management is definitely worth checking out. They're setting a new standard for the industry, and their story is one that deserves to be told.
And, as always, keep those sources coming. Until next time, keep exploring and discovering the amazing world around us.